Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we are listening to a Fatgum ex-listener, as you can tell by Karamatsu_girl on Wattpad. I hope you all enjoy this video, and this video is probably not going to be edited because I'm still trying to figure out the site. I'm probably going to try finding a new one if I still can't figure it out, but I hope you all enjoy. Good old Fatgum was just finished with his afternoon patrol when he smelled a delectable scent. If he was not mistaken, it was his favorite dish, takoyaki. Why haven't I seen this restaurant before? He questioned to himself. He happily stepped inside and noticed that it was particularly empty, but still had a profound smell coming from behind the register. He rung a little bell to indicate to the workers that he was ready to order. Yeah, I'm coming. Huh? Aren't you the pro hero Fatgum? Said the man who came to the register. The hero gave a wide smile and gave him a thumbs up. Correct. I'm here because I noticed the great smell from this place and wanted to try out the food. I'll have 5 orders of takoyaki with lots of green seaweed, if you please. The cashier beamed and placed the order. He turned around and yelled out to the cook. Hey, Ryan, 5 orders of takoyaki, quick! Stop yelling at me, you yelled. Sheesh, you pulled up your sleeves and got to work. From outside the restaurant, people noticed the hero sitting in a booth of the empty restaurant. Hey, that's Fatgum. He's in that restaurant, so it has to be good. Let's go, said some enthusiastic fans. Soon the restaurant was piled up with customers. The cashier, also your brother, enthusiastically got to work. Dad, look how many customers are here. Your dad stepped out of his office to see the sudden wave of people. This was a newly established restaurant, so to see business boom after a period of nothing was reassuring. You rung a bell to indicate that the order was ready, and your dad walked up to serve it. He rolled it out on a cart and placed it in front of Fatgum. With wide eyes, the hero licked his lips and ate an entire bowl of takoyaki in an instant. After carefully chewing and swallowing, he froze. His fan noticed his strange reaction and pulled out their cell phones to record what would happen. Excuse me, Mr. Waiter, who cooked this meal? He asked in a dark tone. Your dad froze, and you noticed the commotion. You tiptoed out of the kitchen and stepped behind your dad. You think he liked it? Whispered an onlooker to another. $5 says he'll flip a table, replied another onlooker. You're on, sis. Is anything wrong with it? He asked. Fatgum slammed his fist on the table. A few people gasped, and a man recording the event suddenly fainted. I asked who cooked this meal. Your dad felt you grip his arm in fear, and his instincts told him to protect you. What if I was the one who made it? What do you have to say, huh? He said overconfidently. Fatgum stood up and pointed at your dad's chest. So it was you. Listen here, sir. You quickly raised your hand from behind your dad, and the crowd turned to you. It was me. If you have a complaint, you can tell me, you said nervously. You stepped in front of your dad and fiddled with your thumb as you faced Fatgum. He was your favorite hero, and if your business was about to go down in flames because of his bad review, you wanted to hear it yourself. Well, not really, but then again, you kinda like drama. Fatgum blinked a few times upon seeing you and lost his train of thought for a while. Wow. I want to say that I am offended. He paused for dramatic effect. The guy who passed out regained consciousness but fainted again. That I haven't tried your food earlier. It is the best takoyaki I've ever had besides my own mom's cooking. He sighed in relief, and the crowd of onlookers started cheering uncontrollably. Fatgum kept his eyes on you as you hugged your dad in relief and couldn't snap out of it. Miss, he finally said. You turned around and saw that he was extending his hand. Thank you for this delicious meal. I will be sure to eat here more often. He smiled and eagerly shook his hand. Please come again soon. He smiled sheepishly and sat down to continue his other 4 orders of takoyaki. The crowd continued to stand around, and your dad lost his nerve. If y'all are gonna stand there, at least order something. From then on, Fatgum started to go to your restaurant regularly. He ordered large amounts of takoyaki and always made sure to give his compliments to the chef personally. It was very flattering to hear such praise, but your family grew suspicious. You think he's just here for the takoyaki? Your brother asked one day after the restaurant closed. Doubt it. You see the way he barges into the kitchen to tell us how great the food was. He broke the door down, for goodness sake, your dad said, while wiping off the table. Yeah, he's a pro hero and all, but my sister is still my sister, and I don't think she's ready for a boyfriend, your brother said. Me either, your father agreed. Boy, I told you to sweep the damn floor, yet here you are gossiping. Get to work. Yes, sir, he said while saluting. He picked up the beat-up old broom and angrily got to work. Though he knew it wasn't right to snoop into his sister's life like that. Though he knew it wasn't right to snoop into his siblings' life like that, he couldn't help but feel overprotected over them. Especially since in the past, his dear sibling had their heart broken by another person. Weeks had gone by, and the same thing kept occurring. After patrolling, Fatgum would go to your restaurant, order takoyaki, and try to converse with you when he could. Thanks to his constant visits, he would attract many customers and kept your business booming. One day, however, he was ready to stop by when he saw you from outside the restaurant. You were chatting with a customer with a huge smile on your face. He said something to make you chuckle, and Fatgum just stood there. Ah, shucks, he said to himself. Who am I kidding? She's way out of my league. I should stop going. With that, he turned on his heel and walked away. He was a truly sad boy. A few days had gone by, and you were missing seeing your number 1 customer. You sighed and zoned out. Hey, you keep making takoyaki, or else I'll spray you with the Febreze again, your loving brother said. You immediately snapped out of it due to fear. Sorry, I just miss him. He raised an eyebrow and narrowed his eyes. The hero? Yeah, he usually comes every day. Where's he been? Well, I say good riddance that he's gone. I didn't like the googly eyes he'd make at you. You verbally hunned. What do you mean? You asked. Your brother sighed. You really think he's been coming here just because he likes the food? I do that. Is that so wrong? Plus, he's kind of known to eat a lot. I can relate. He felt uncomfortable and grabbed the Febreze from the counter and sprayed you. You shrieked in fear and ran out of the building. For those thinking WTF... Oh, never mind. After a few seconds of gasping for air, you saw a certain hero walking around. Fatgum? Fatgum! You yelled. You ran after him without planning out what to say if you reached him. Meanwhile, the BMI hero was patrolling the neighborhood. He felt that tiny bit of jealousy and guilt eating away at him, but remembered to think about his work first. From behind him, he could hear yelling, but he didn't really acknowledge it. You are nearly caught up when you suddenly sneezed, and that millisecond you spent blinking caused you to become distracted and not notice the crack in the sidewalk. You tripped over said crack and began what felt like a slow descent towards Fatgum. In that same instant, he turned around and saw you hurtling his way. His quirk allowed for you to safely land on him, but you are now sinking into his belly. Oh gosh, he said when this happened. He then pulled you out of him and smiled nervously. Hey, Hawaiian. You blinked twice when he set you down. Fatgum, you said, when you snapped out of it. "Where have you been? I miss seeing you at our shop," you said quietly. You realized how weird it must have been to just run up to a hero and demand why they weren't where you wanted them to. Sure, you really liked him, but you realized how disrespectful that you may have come off. He had his own life, and you yours. "Wait 1 second. Never mind, I'm sorry. That's not my business," you said with a plastered-on smile and small chuckle. Fatgum felt a small sting and grabbed your wrist. When you turned to walk away, you stared back at him with confusion. I'm sorry for not showing up. It's just that..." Taishiro took a moment to look around. There were tons of people just watching them, after all. He's pretty hard to miss. "Can we go somewhere a little more secluded?" he asked. You nodded and followed. He was still holding you by the wrist. You two eventually stopped at a bus bench a few blocks away in a quiet street. You sat down, and so did he. "So, my wrist, please," you said. His eyes went wide, and he let you go. "I'm so sorry, I forgot." You laughed a bit and waited. "I think I'll just get to the point. I like you a lot, but, I don't think I'm right for you, and yeah," the hero said softly. Your face went "oh whoa," and you just thought about what he just said. "Why do you think you're not right for me?" you inquired. "Well, because I'm different. I don't really know. I just see you with other people making you happy, and I don't think I could compete." You thought of being with anyone else made you laugh. It was the kind of laugh you get when you see Thanos memes. Fatgum felt a little hurt by your laughter because he didn't know what it meant. "What's so funny, eh?" You crack me up like an egg." "Different. We literally live in a world where everyone has quirks. We're basically all quirky. If anything, I thought I was the weird one. I love seeing you at the shop. You're my favorite hero. I was so flattered seeing you there, and when you stopped showing up, I felt sad." You looked up at the 8-foot-tall hero and smiled. He blushed slightly and couldn't help but laugh himself. "Hey now, what's so funny, eh?" you said in a mocking tone. "Wow, I didn't think it would turn out like this. I thought you'd just laugh and walk away," he said. You reached for his hand and gave it a tiny squeeze. "Well, I'm glad it turned out this way," you said. He gave his signature toothy smile. "So, want to go out to eat right now?" You deadpanned. "No." He jumped up in shock. "What?" You pointed at your watch. "My lunch break ended 10 minutes ago. If I stay out any longer, my father will disown me." Fatgum sighed out in relief and laughed out. You smiled and pulled out a notebook that you used to write down orders. You scribbled something down and handed it to him. "I'm available on these days, and here's my phone number," you said cheerfully. He grabbed the paper and stared at it. "Your handwriting sucks." You cried on the inside, but then both of you burst out laughing. "Well, Wine, it's a date." "I would love that. And even though I know you can eat a lot, they don't call my stomach a black hole for nothing," you said, while pulling a rosy and reverter pose. He narrowed his eyes and smirked. "It's a challenge, then." "Ryan, I found you!" Your brother came running and then stopped upon seeing the BMI hero himself. "You! Why are you here with my dear younger sibling?" Fatgum freaked out a little, and you just muttered to yourself, "I'm the older one, though." Anyways, that was the fan fiction. I keep not reading the fan fiction beforehand, so I keep laughing while reading it. But I hope you all enjoyed our lovely Fatgum ex-listener, because Fatgum is amazing. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!